I'm Steve, a project worker at Hadley Training Centre, and today I'm going to show you how to plant a hanging basket. You should have received the following equipment: an empty basket, a bag of compost, a pair of gloves, a label and some plants. So first off, you'll notice that I've put the plants and the hanging basket compost on a plastic bag. This is just a general bag that you put your rubbish out once a week. These happen to be pink, yours may be a different colour. Now the first thing I'm going to do, probably most importantly, is put on the pair of safety gloves. This is because we don't know what's lurking in the compost. Okay, with the gloves on, the first job is to take our basket and pull out the plastic liner. What we're looking for here is to see if it has any drainage holes in it. This one doesn't, so I'm going to get a pair of scissors and make some holes in the plastic liner. You don't need many holes, maybe 4 or 5 just in the bottom, just so that the water can drain out rather than collect in the bottom of the basket. When you've got your drainage holes, push the liner back into the basket. Next, we need our compost. Open up your bag of compost, and what you need to do now is put both hands in the bag and sieve the compost between your fingers. The reason we're doing this is to take any large lumps of compost and make them smaller. That way we don't get any lumps in our hanging basket. When we're satisfied that we've taken all the lumps out, we can get a large handful of compost and we can put it in the basket. We'll do this 2 or 3 times, and this will give us our base layer of compost in the basket. You're probably filling to about half the height of the basket. It's trial and error. The next thing to do is to take the plant, the largest plant that's been given to you. This plant will go in the centre, the middle of the hanging basket. You may need to squeeze the pot a couple of times in order to loosen up the plant. Tip it into your hand. Now you can see this is a really healthy plant. The roots have grown all through the soil, and really this would need potting on if we were going to keep it in a single pot. Place the plant in the centre of your basket. Ideally, the height of the soil surrounding the plant should be at about the same level as the top of the plastic in the basket. This one is. Next, you take your surrounding plants. Same thing applies. Give the pot a bit of a squeeze to free up the plant, and carefully place it into the compost. Do this with all the remaining plants that you've been given. Try to space them out evenly around the inside of the plant pot. We don't want everything all on one side of the pot. So here we go, we've got 5 plants in the basket. Next, and this is probably the trickiest part of the job, we've got to fill in the gaps in the basket with compost. But we've got to try and get the compost between the plants without going onto the plants, and also to make sure that we fill in all the gaps, firming the compost down as we go. It's worth spending a bit of time doing this to make sure that the end result looks really good. What you're trying to do is get the compost up to about the top level of the plastic. You don't want to go any higher. Firming the compost in as you go. Okay, now when you've done that, if like me you're a little bit clumsy, you can use an old brush, a paintbrush, or in this case a makeup brush, just to brush the excess compost off of the edge of the basket and off of the plants. It just makes the finished article look a little more presentable. Okay, so once we're satisfied that we have enough compost in the basket, the next thing to do is to water it. So here I have a watering can, and I'm just going to carefully water between the plants. I'm doing it slowly to allow the water to soak into the compost. You will know when you've added enough water because it'll start leaking out of the holes you made in the polythene liner right at the very start of this activity. I think that has enough water now. And the last thing we do is we write a label. I have a label here, and a pen, and all I'm going to do is put my name and today's date on it. So, Steve, 23rd of the 4th, 2020. And that is a hanging basket. What I recommend you do is water it regularly and take a photo of it once a week and send that photograph through to Nicola or to me, and we can monitor how your hanging basket will turn out. Thank you.